In the last class, we discussed mainly this Mūladhara, Swadhisthana and Manipuraka. So this Mūladhara, because that's supposed to be Moolam, the root, the base, and that to beginning of all the chakras. Adhara, in fact, support. That's why called Mūladhara. Then Swadhisthana, Shwa Shabdena prāṇa iti. So prāṇasya adhisthana iti called Swadhisthana. Then comes Manipura. So in Manipura chakra, all the veins are joined together and it looks like a mani, a jewel. And interestingly, that Nāḍī is called here not veins, even though I first said vein. So Nāḍī means that which carries the energy prāṇa. So you can say invisible Nāḍīs. That's the right word would be. So all these invisible Nāḍīs that are connected and it forms, it looks like a mani, a jewel. That's why it is called Manipuraka. And we saw that also, that this Manipuraka chakra, which has got 12 wheels. And of course, now the person generally keeps traveling this life and death, samsara chakra, the samsara chakra in the form of janma, marana, life and death. That is very much connected to Manipura chakra. That's why I'll tell you one small trick. Before death of a person, it depends upon person to person. I have observed few cases that especially in 1 week of time of death, the navel portion little bit changes. So that means you can see that navel is not centered. Some type of, you can say, disalignment take place. Few cases that I have observed, that's why I would like to add it here very carefully. However, because all these are, for you information, okay? Don't take too many information, okay? Then every now and then check your navel, okay? Whether it is aligned or not, whether I am going to die or not, okay? Don't worry. If you die, no problem, okay? Especially, you are free. It will be problem for others, okay? So why to check for yourself, okay? And there is no need to check for others either, okay? That is that person's problem, okay? So in any way, there is no need, okay? But don't ask me questions. So how do you know all these things, okay? That is another thing. Verse number 24. Udram medhrad adho nabhe kando yoni khagandavata tatra nadya samutpannaha sahasranam disaptati. So even though this Manipura chakra is considered as the center of all Nāḍīs woven into a mani form. But in reality, the source of energy, the individual source of energy means individual prāṇa storehouse is not in Manipura chakra. So it is in between. He says, urdham medhrat adhaha nave. So on above of medhra. So where is medhra? So medhra we discussed that Swadhisthana and Manipura in between. Now here he says there is something called kanda. So this kanda, which is supposed to be the source of individual prāṇa, that is the storehouse, that happens to be below Manipura and above medhra. So that means we say physically little below that your navel region. Sometimes we make it in different text I have seen. It is 3 angulum. Angulum means your finger, okay? So you can put 3 fingers below your navel region. So that would be appropriate place. And that is the storehouse of one's own prāṇa. That's why in the last class we discussed that culturally we are not supposed to expose that area to anybody, and moreover not to be kept it open. That's why while dressing we cover that, unlike nowadays, okay? That's why people don't have energy. Then you can say, how can you say they have more energy than any one of us? Yes, don't worry. So you will see in due course of time. And here why this is being said very nicely, also one should really understand that when you look at this aspect, that this kanda, where especially all the Nāḍīs and mainly we say 10 Nāḍīs play big role over there. And some places here, in fact, it's going to say very carefully that there are 27 Nāḍīs which are going to play big role. In fact, when a person starts looking at this aspect, also must know how to handle this situation. And among all these Nāḍīs, also the person must understand these saptatis should be 72. These saptati. So there are 72, not I said in the 27, which is wrong, okay? So there are 72 Nāḍīs are important, even though thousands, but among 72, most importantly, 10 are important. Let us go through the verses so that it becomes easier, okay? Or else we'll be talking differently. Okay, here he says also, Tatra Nadyah Samutpana Sahasranam di Saptatihi. So if you look at from that place and what is called as Kandaha, and this looks like Khagandavat. So Andavat of Khaga. So Khaga means a bird. The egg of a bird. That means not very big, okay? So it's very small size. It's like a bulb. So that means if we look at, keep the, this egg not in horizontal but vertical way. So how does it look? In the same way, now this called Kandaha looks. And interestingly, when this Kandaha, from there arises 72,000 Nāḍīs. Sahasranam di Saptatihi. So we have 72,000 Nāḍīs. So if you look at this Kanda aspect, that this happens to be the storehouse of my individual energy, the prana. This looks like Khagandavat, looks like the egg of a bird, and that too if you keep the egg in horizon, in vertical way, not in horizontal way. And so that becomes the source of energy. And interestingly, from there are 72,000 Nāḍīs are coming from, they arise from that location. That's why that becomes very sensible area. In fact, interestingly, I can say that incidental note. Why a child is connected to mother? Because of this. The womb, in that womb, all the Nāḍīs. Now, definitely, the child is fully connected with the prāṇa of mother. That's why the child and mother always go together incidentally. Continuing. Tesu nāḍī sahasresu dishaptapti udāhrutaha pradhāna prāṇavāhiņyaha bhūyastāshu dasasmrutaha. So among Sahasra Nāḍīsu, among thousands of Nāḍīs, means 72,000 Nāḍīs, Di Saptati Udāhrutaha. So that means only 72 are important. And again from 72, pradhāna prāṇavāhiņyaha bhūyaha tāsu dasah smrutaha iti. So among this is 72, but only 10 Nāḍīs are important for us or significant because they are the carrier of prāṇa. So these 10 becomes important. It is exactly like, when this nurse and doctors, look for vein. There are thousands of veins. But when they want to give injection, so they are only interested in a particular vein. You understand how they do not trick, tight it, this, that, this thing, do this few times. And there are places they just touch, like without thing, vein come out, okay? Like this, okay, oh, visible. And sometimes they take long time to search. And some doctors, they treat like animal, okay? When I say animal, see how they give injection to the animal? So like that they do. So they heat in such a way, so then after that they do all these things so that the vein is visible, not available, okay? Visible. So even if there are thousands of veins, but the doctor or nurse looks for certain veins which is easier to, give the medicine, to induce the medicine. So also, even though there are thousands of Nāḍīs, among them, even though 72 Nāḍīs are important, but these 10 Nāḍīs becomes significant for an individual as they carry specific prāṇa. And question may arise, who are they? And of course, what are their job? First, who are they? Now he says, Ida cha Piṅgalā chaiva Suṣumnā cha tritiyaka Gāndhārī Hastijihvā cha Pūṣā chaiva Yaśasvinī Alambusā Kuhuḥ Śaṅkhinī dasami smrutā Etan nādimayam chakram Gyātavyam yogibhi sada. So, he says, you don't have to worry. I remember few names. Because you have been remembering many things in your life, okay? Which is not required actually. It is better to remember these things than what you remember. So the first one, it says, Ida. Second one, because very nicely, this we have put it, Ida generally left side. Then Piṅgalā, right side. Third is Suṣumnā, that which is in center. So among, remember, incidentally, I would like to say, 72,000 Nāḍīs, among them 72. From 72 comes 10. From 10 comes 3. And from 3 comes only 1. So that is called Yoga Shastra in short. Is it clear? 72,000. From 72,000 comes 72. From 72 comes 10. From 10 comes 3, Ida, Piṅgalā and Suṣumnā. From 3 comes 1, that is called Suṣumnā. So when a person is able to manage the whole breathing, whole prāṇa through Suṣumnā, is called a Siddha Purusha iti. I think class is over. So no more Goraksha Samhita, okay? So you all know now. I think I should stop, okay? However, so Ida left, Piṅgalā right, Suṣumnā center, then Gāndhārī. So Gāndhārī happens to be left eye, we'll see in details. Then comes Hastijihvā, right eye, Pūṣā, right ear, Yaśasvinī, left ear, Alambusā, here is a throat and digestive system related to that. That's why when you are not able to speak something, you will discover your digestive system will be affected. So amazing thing happens. That's why we take care of digestive system very well because of this Alambusā. And in fact, when your digestive system also doesn't work, you'll discover all sort of throat pain happens. Let us not get into that. Kuhuḥ is linked to this Jananendriya, and this Śaṅkhinī. Śaṅkhinī is to speech and perception. So these are the 10 Nāḍīs. Etan Nāḍīmayam Chakram Gyātavyam Yogi Sadha. So a yogi is supposed to know, in fact should always understand these Nāḍīs and their functions. If you are interested to understand the framework of your body, how it functions, how it responds. Because at the end of the life, you when will have only time, remember, that is the time. If you are introvert, this helps a lot. Or else, very difficult to face oneself. However, maybe another 3 we can verses see, because already we have seen, just reading. Ida vāme sthita bhāge Piṅgalā dakṣiṇe sthita Suṣumnā madhyadeshe tu Gāndhārī vāmachakshusi dakṣiṇe Hastijihvā ca Pūṣā karne ca dakṣiṇe Yaśasvinī vāmakarne Ḥyanane Alambusā Kuhuḥ lingadeshe tu mūlasthāne ca Śaṅkhinī evam dvaram samāsritya tishṭhanti dasanādayah. So whatever we discussed here, same thing is being talked, nothing much. So he says, look, so I said Śaṅkhinī is connected, but here Śaṅkhinī says very carefully, there is little difference. So Śaṅkhinī is connected to mūlasthāne, mūladhara. So let us look at once more what verse says. Ida vāme sthita bhāge Piṅgalā dakṣiṇe sthita. So Ida is located left side of the body, stands for left nostril. Piṅgalā now is in dakṣiṇe, so your right nostril. Very simple. That's why, interestingly, it does not, I remember one thing. This, when we look at this left and right, Ida Piṅgalā means Ida left, Piṅgalā right. That is only from above the navel region. In fact, leg corresponds differently, incidentally. So when I say leg corresponds differently, actually right leg is connected to Ida, left leg is connected to Piṅgalā. Which you yourself can make out. That's why when we do namaskar especially, so we make sure that right leg should be above left leg. Whether you do sashtanga or you kneel down, so we make the cross. Leg is supposed to be crossed as a rule. So that's why if you observe anybody, do not lift one leg after another leg and does namaskaram, that means the person must be initiated, must be knowing the trick of tradition. Whereas what people they do straight, they fall, so which is technically not right at all. Okay, so when the right leg comes above left leg, why generally we do? To make sure that consciously your ida is, is predominant. So you don't allow Piṅgalā to be predominant. Generally, when you are with deity or guru or this sort of things, when you do namaskara, your energy will be high, Piṅgalā will come. So if the Piṅgalā becomes stronger and again you make it stronger, definitely things will not work. So when Piṅgalā is strong, so we make sure we have to convert to ida. So this conversion time from Piṅgalā to ida, sometimes conveniently it will go through Suṣumnā. In fact, I remember this is what I have been taught by one beautiful Baba in Odisha, because I had explored a lot during that time. So he was very nice, he was teaching me few things. There we follow exclusively. Sometimes left will be on the top of right, sometimes right on the top of left. So there was no rule as such, because suppose you discover that your ida is predominant, so that time you are supposed to keep left leg on the top of right leg. That's why before doing namaskaram, you are supposed to check your breathing. Remember this trick. Before doing namaskaram, you are supposed to check your breathing, whether the breathing is in ida or is in Piṅgalā. And if you feel neither it is in ida or Piṅgalā, you can do literally just putting right on left, no problem. That is standard rule. Whereas if you discover it is in what? In Piṅgalā. So if it is in Piṅgalā, what is to be done? So you need to make sure ida to be activated. So that means what is to be done? So make sure that the right leg should come above left. No, left leg should come above right. Okay, I hope you understand the logic or not yet. Okay, once more I would like to say, left is ida, right is Piṅgalā. Okay, now right leg is ida, left leg is Piṅgalā. Now if it is Piṅgalā predominant, you are supposed to bring to ida. So what is to be done? So you need to make sure that right leg is on left. Very simple, okay? And when you discover left nostril is predominant, put left leg on the top of right. Clear or not? Is it okay now? Hey, okay, this is the basic thing. Okay, I think with this I should stop today class. Look, once more, starting from the beginning. Rule number 1. Before doing namaskaram, you are supposed to check your breathing. Clear? Suppose you discover the breathing is in right nostril. Now, right nostril has to convert it into left so that you will get Suṣumnā. Now, right nostril is connected to left leg. Okay? So, if the right nostril is connected to left leg, so what is to be done? Now, if you lift left leg, again your right nostril is going to be predominant. So, I was wrong. Now, right nostril should supposed to go on left. Okay, very simple. Now, format is clear. When the breathing is in right, put the right leg on the left. When left nostril is predominant, keep the left leg on the right. Is it simple? And when you discover it is both, means you are not able to figure it out, don't worry. Put right on the left. So this is the trick of doing namaskara. Thank you, all of you. Om Purnamadaḥ Purnamidam Purnāt Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, all of you.
Recording stopped.
At what age you have to learn how to do namaskara? Really, something very funny today. So have you ever thought that you are supposed to watch your breathing? Remember, the trick is for each and everything, you are supposed to watch your breathing.